Tusidanganyane, wacha tuseme ukweli na ukweli mtupu. And the truth is, President Uhuru Kenyatta and Team Azimio are having a headache in the Mount Kenya region, getting elected leaders, legislators and others on their side and reading from the same script as they are. That is the truth. You can't sugarcoat it. You can't change it. That is the truth. However, let us appreciate that there's a huge difference between what leaders in a region are saying and the impression they're giving and the perception, and what the people on the ground are really feeling. This has come out many times in voting. You hear leaders in a certain region talking like this, and then when it reaches polling day, the voters do the exact opposite of what the leaders were saying. It happens. Although in most instances, what leaders are saying is precisely what is on the ground. But my point is, not always. And especially in Mount Kenya right now, there is a reason, a very good reason, why President Uhuru Kenyatta and Team Azimio are having a hard time. And it is interesting, most analysts are not touching on this. And yet it is so critical. It is so important. It explains everything. What is it I'm talking about? Well, stick with me till the end of the show. This is a short one. And find out for yourself. I assure you that when you find out, it will be a aha moment for you. You will realize something that everybody is ignoring or forgetting, which is very important, and will be able to give us a clear indication of how Mount Kenya may vote. Because right now, opinion is divided. But after my show today, you will understand totally. Karibu sana, and as usual, enjoy. The truth of this life is that we all have weaknesses, all of us. Even organizations and political outfits have weaknesses. Indeed, success in life is not having the least weaknesses. No. Because I want to believe that we all know that it is not the fastest runner who always wins the race. It's not always the richest man who reigns supreme. No. A time and a chance, an opportunity, and you being ready for that opportunity and taking advantage of your strengths while ignoring your weaknesses or limiting them. That is what will win you the day. And so it is in that spirit that I want you to take in this video today. Now, at this point, it is very clear that the race to State House will be a two-horse race. That is very clear to everybody. But there's something else that is not clear to everybody. And that is that the UDA party, the Kenya Kwanza coalition, is the underdog in the race for State House. Now, please don't put words in my mouth. This does not mean that UDA cannot win. The UDA candidate cannot win. No, I'm not saying that. This does not mean that Kenya Kwanza cannot, under any circumstances, be the ones to form the next government. No, that's not what I'm saying. They're capable of winning. They can win. This is politics and anything can happen. But for them to win, it is extremely important that they understand their weaknesses. So that they can look for the strengths they have within them to counter those weaknesses, to make up for those weaknesses. Now, the major weakness the UDA party has, which is the main partner in the Kenya Kwanza alliance, is a devastating weakness. The kind of weakness which can lose you an election at 5 a.m. in the morning. Okay? And that weakness can be called vifaranga vya computer. What do I mean? Now, during the 2017 presidential elections, after the IEBC announced their results, they are very strange results, and you saw what unfolded. Even the Supreme Court rejected those results, told us that there were irregularities, which means those were not the real results. At one point, Raila Odinga told us about the Jubilee outfit, including the president and his deputy. He referred to them as vifaranga vya computer, chicks generated out of a computer. Now, many people didn't understand the full impact of what you were saying. Especially if you have no experience in politics, you will never understand. Because in politics, it is not an advantage to have never lost an election. No, in my opinion, it's a huge disadvantage. Because there are no shortcuts in politics. And many very successful politicians have tasted the crushing effect of a defeat in an election before they have gone on to become great politicians. Abraham Lincoln, one of the greatest American presidents, had a record number of political defeats before he finally became the greatest president America has ever seen. A legend, many decades, several centuries after he left us. Bottom line, winning an election is not easy. It takes a lot. And therefore, anybody who gets elected illegally by a shortcut, by somebody fiddling around with a computer somewhere, is not really a politician. And this is very instructive, because a lot of people have criticized the deputy president for his approach in politics, for the mistakes he's making as he vies for the presidency. Now, if you stand back and realize that actually in 2017, William Samoei Ruto was not elected. He did not win the elections alongside Uhuru Kenyatta. Then a lot of things begin to fall in place. And even in 2013, he did not win. Now, I know many people argue against that, so let me quickly move on to what I really want to say. The truth of the matter is that most of the leading lights of the UDA party, the deputy president's closest allies, are vifaranga vya computer. Yes, they won elections, in order to have the positions they have today. But for them to do so, somebody had to fiddle around with a computer somewhere. In their case, somebody had to fiddle around with the Jubilee nominations, so that they were nominated as the Jubilee candidate. And in many of the areas, being the Jubilee candidate was a free pass to winning the elections. Pure and simple. Now, I hope you're beginning to see that there are so many disadvantages of being a vifaranga ya computer. First of all, it means that you don't even understand what winning in politics really is all about. So how are you going to carry out a successful campaign in a free and fair election to win an election? You tell me, how are you going to do it? You can analyze the UDA party and how crafty and smart the deputy president is, which he is, no doubt about that. But at the end of the day, you're doing zero work. You're doing nothing. If what we're talking about are vifaranga vya computer. It means that the politicians you're talking about, the UDA leading lights, are not only inexperienced people, inexperienced politicians, but they're also not real politicians. They never won a real election. And some of these people are the top advisors of the deputy president. Oh, how everything begins to fall in place now. How it becomes so easy to understand so many things now. You remember the beginning of the campaign of the deputy president. You remember what people were saying? The deputy president's people. William Ruto must become the president. He must be the next president. They're using the word must. And yet this is politics. That is a word you never use when you're talking about being elected. You never tell your voters, you must vote for me. You must, or else. What do you think people will do when you tell them that? Let's just take a hypothetical example. You're in this constituency and you're looking for votes, and you tell your prospective voters, you must vote for me. I must be the next MP. What do you think their reaction is going to be? They're going to rebel against you. They're going to do the opposite of what you're asking them to do. Knowing human nature, they're going to do everything in their power to make sure that hiyo must yako itagonga ukuta. That's human nature. So the biggest problem UDA have is that they have too many vifaranga vya computer amongst their ranks. And even when we're discussing Mount Kenya politics, all the leading lights, virtually all the leading lights in UDA, campaigning for the deputy president in the Mount Kenya region, rooting for the deputy president, are all vifaranga via computer. They never won a real election. The Jubilee nominations were fiddled with. They were rigged. In other words, long before the elections actually took place, the primaries, you would have gone to a certain office and gotten a printout of all the people who are going to win well in advance. And not predictions based on what is happening on the ground. No, selected, carefully selected people. And the saddest thing of all is that many of these people are brand new to politics. They have never been in politics before. They were handpicked. Some of them from nowhere near politics. And suddenly they're in politics. So you tell me, what do you expect? What do you expect? Saya wanaume ikifika. When push comes to shove, and people need to put their best foot forward. People need to use their experience and their knowledge in politics. You need to put all your heads together. What do you expect is going to happen? Vifaranga via computer. What do you think they'll do? You tell me. In sharp contrast, if we're just to stick to Mount Kenya, in sharp contrast, the people who are in Azimio are all real politicians. They fought tooth and nail to get where they are today. Many of them were rigged out by the computer in 2017, by the fiddled Jubilee nomination in 2017. What do you think they've been busy doing on the ground? And there's also something else. Have you ever been in a constituency where the member of parliament got in through some dodgy means? Where your favorite candidate, the most popular person in the area, lost under suspicious circumstances? I've been in such a situation. People never forget. People are always against that MP. And when the next elections arrive, people cannot wait to vote out that fake member of parliament of theirs. So you can imagine what we should expect from the UDA leading lights, who are supposedly elected, they're in elective offices. We can predict exactly what is going to happen when people go to the polls. Of course, there are some vifaranga via computer who will survive, unfortunately. Sad, but it's life. There are some of them who will survive. And those ones will survive by riding on a wave. Either William Samoei Ruto wave or an Azimio wave. And they'll actually be properly elected into office. But a vast majority of them will go the way of vifaranga via computer. Until next time, this is Chris Kumekucha. Out of all the political books I've ever written, and there are quite a number, Dark Secrets of the Kenyan Presidency stands out as an amazing bestseller. Yeah. And also many consider it a classic because it takes a look at the office of the Presidency of the Republic of Kenya like nobody else has ever done before, or even to date. And many of those who have taken in this amazing ebook say that they just couldn't stop reading through. Yeah. They just couldn't put it down. Maybe that has a lot to do with some of the mind-boggling information contained in this book. Did you know, for example, that Jomo Kenyatta once confessed in public that he would never, ever touch alcohol again? Many people don't know that, and they don't even know the circumstances. But many of us know that the first president of Kenya, during his presidency, enjoyed the occasional stiff drink, when his health allowed, despite the earlier firm promise he had made in public earlier in his life. And don't even mention the scene painted very clearly in the book, where a small boy, shivering because it was raining cats and dogs, and carrying a 2-year-old baby on his back, arrived at the home of his grandfather, who made some predictions that dominated his life, frustrated him for the rest of his life, until that prediction came true. Or maybe it is because of the picture painted of Daniel Arap Moi, especially during his first cabinet meeting, where it was difficult for him even to look up. And even the other cabinet ministers, some of them who had been harassing him for years, could not look at him straight in the eye. There was so much tension at that cabinet meeting, captured perfectly, accurately in Dark Secrets. It is totally amazing. And there's much more, right up to the Kibaki presidency. Now I have some amazing news for you. This book is available in video format. That is, you don't even have to read it. Many people hate to read. They don't have the time to read. You can take it in as a video. You can take it in as an audiobook. Listen to it right through. And I have an amazing offer for you today. Not only will I send you the ebook in PDF format, you can even print it out as a book and read it. I will also send it to you in video format, so that you can listen to it right through or watch it right through. Amazing, isn't it? But there's more. If you take advantage of this very latest offer of mine, I will give you 6 months membership free to my weekly intelligence briefings. That means if you already have 6 months, I will add you another 6 months on top of what you have, so that you have a whole year to enjoy my weekly intelligence briefings. And by the way, I have quite a number of briefings, Jikoni, that I'm preparing, which I'll release in quick succession within the next few days. And those are weekly intelligence briefings you don't want to miss. So don't waste any time. For slightly above $10 for a little money, you can't even go into most restaurants with that kind of money, you'll be able to receive both the PDF format of Dark Secrets of the Kenyan Presidency and the video version. So don't waste any time. You can see the details on your screens right now. Just send a blank email to that email address you see, and you'll receive full payment instructions on what to do. The same payment instructions are repeated in the description area below this video on YouTube. Go for it. This offer is only for a very limited time. So take full advantage of it. And of course, in taking up this offer, you'll also be supporting the work I do on this channel. And if you believe this work is important, then you will be doing something very important in getting hold of Dark Secrets of the Kenyan Presidency. Go for it right away. Asanteni sana for your time. This is your humble servant, Chris Kumekucha.